This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Sophia Yvette.
Welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast. Are you in need of a recruiting and consulting firm? Well, one may be closer than you think. Today, I have the pleasure of introducing our good neighbor, Ben Cross with GLOMO. Ben, it's great to have you on today. Now, we are so excited to learn more about you and your business. So go ahead and tell us just a little bit more about your company.
Thanks, Sophia, and it's really great to be here. Really excited to be on the Good Neighbor Podcast. My business is GLOMO, and we've been around now almost 6 years now, actually. Wow, time really flies. But we're a consulting and recruiting company specializing in the global mobility space. And what does that mean? That means kind of the industry that relocates people for work, whether it be here in the US or globally. And we have clients around the world, which is pretty cool. And I'm really fortunate to lead a team of recruiters and consultants that help those companies become the best by either connecting with other companies or connecting with top talent that can transform them. So it's been a real blessing to be at the helm here of GLOMO and to watch it grow over the last 6 years. And it's a real honor to be here in North Texas doing it. I wasn't always here in North Texas, but I actually quit my job up in Detroit and started my company and moved the family and sold the house. And we came down to Dallas and it's been really cool.
Wow, Ben. So what originally made you want to come down to Dallas of all places?
Honestly, it just felt like the right place for me. I do have family and roots here in the area, but it also felt like a really great place to start a business and to grow a business. The market's fantastic, a really diverse set of industries here. You know, down in Houston, it's primarily oil and gas, for instance, right? Or in San Francisco, it's very tech heavy, right? But here in Dallas, I think it's probably one of the most diverse markets from an industry perspective. And so it's always up and growing. The access to talent is second to none, both from a university standpoint, but also from a blue collar talent standpoint. That there's just a phenomenal access to talent, and it's just very, very dynamic market. So it just felt like the right place to be.
I love that. And Ben, where did your passion for this industry specifically, where was that born?
Well, I started off in the moving industry. I started off working at a call center, and I was selling over the phone, long distance moving services. And I realized I was pretty good at it. I didn't like the job, but I realized I had a talent and a knack for it. And I really liked helping people, whether it be, the folks that I was helping to move or actually my coworkers and making them more successful at what they did. So I realized I loved that and had a passion for it. And I was fortunate enough to get promoted several times in that, and I discovered a career where I didn't necessarily think I had a career, but it just things kept happening, and I kept moving up, and I was like, wow, this is actually something I've got here. So I think that's it. I think that sometimes we think we need to have a passion for an industry to kind of go into it. But I think that passion is within us, and we get passionate about things, and we can choose to be enthusiastic about those things. And sometimes we kind of carry passion with us for whatever we decide to go into.
Very interesting perspective. Now, Ben, with so much experience in your industry today, what is the most common misconception you come across?
I think the most common misconception I come across in the recruitment industry is that recruiting is a post and pray approach, right? We see a lot of our clients out there when they're not using us, they'll just post a job and see what happens and see who applies, right? And then when they get the applicants, they're like, okay, I got 500 Costco cashiers here, okay, but I needed a enterprise sales executive for a technology product, and I don't know why these people applied. I don't know what they were thinking, but I'm inundated with a lot of folks that I can't really use. And so that was what we call a passive recruitment approach. We call that passively recruiting active candidates. And it is probably the worst thing you can do from a recruiting approach. What we do at GLOMO is active recruiting of passive candidates. These are people who are not looking for a job. They are currently successful in the role that they're working in now. And we actively go out, and some people call it headhunting, but we actively go out and headhunt those people and say, hey, I know you're successful currently. I know you're probably not looking because you're, flourishing, but have you considered an opportunity like this? And here's why that might be appealing. Would you be open to having a conversation? And you'd be surprised by the amount of folks that we are able to have a conversation with. And once they hear what other opportunities might be out there, they become really intrigued, they get excited. And that's how we're able to recruit the best and brightest talent to organizations that ultimately transform those organizations.
Wow. Very, very cool. Now, we're going to go ahead and switch gears here for a second. We know that marketing is the heart of every business. So, who are some of these ideal candidates? You said successful people, but give us a better picture of what that looks like and how are you reaching them today?
Yeah, right now, what is in probably the highest demand, you mentioned marketing. Right now, what's probably in the highest demand is probably salespeople. People that can really make, well, we used to say make the phone ring, but can generate business, business developers. And that is probably true across almost every industry. It's been a little economically slow, especially in our vertical, I think probably in a lot of industries. And so folks that know how to go out and make rain, as we used to say, that those are the folks that are really in the highest demand. And so we're looking for those rainmakers in the moving industry. We're looking for them in the business immigration law industry. We're looking for them in the corporate housing or the relocation management industry. We're looking for them in our core industries. But to be honest with you, I think most industries are looking for people like that.
Oh, that's a wonderful approach. And when it comes to helping so many people all of the time, I have to wonder, what do you do outside of work for a little R&R?
Um, I really love what I do, so I don't really look to turn it off per se, because for me, it's kind of a hobby to see how great we can be. But that being said, when I want to really decompress and step away from it, I really enjoy art. I really enjoy creating art. I really enjoy expressing myself. Lately, I've been painting a lot using acrylics. I'm actually looking around my office. I've got a few acrylic paintings on the wall right now, and those are that's probably one of my biggest outlets. When I have free time, which isn't often because I'm traveling a lot. Like I'll be in Phoenix in 2 days, but I do love to paint.
Very cool. Now, we've covered a lot of great information today, Ben, but if there was one grand takeaway you would like our listeners to gather from learning about your business and this episode today, what would it be?
Well, I think that people need to think differently about the talent that they recruit. I think that business owners and leaders need to be thinking that they are actually responsible for creating their employment brand, for their employer brand. When you look at companies that are employers of choice in the space, they usually have a great culture, and culture is top down, right? And so I think oftentimes CEOs, we like to delegate things, right? That's our deal, right? We're working on the business, not in the business. And so we delegate things like culture, and we delegate things like marketing and social media. But I would really encourage leaders out there to be at the forefront of building culture, exhibiting that culture, and also being very active in social media, because they are the lightning rod for their organization, especially if they're a smaller business. I'm a big fan of people do business with people they like and trust, and ultimately that CEO or leader of that company is ultimately the face of the company. So lean into that and don't shy away from it.
Very cool, Ben. Now, final question for you. Where can our listeners go to learn more about GLOMO?
Hey, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is really where I live. That's what I always say. I'm on LinkedIn. D Ben Cross is my handle, but you can search Ben Cross SCRP. That's my acronym for the certification that I have for my industry. And yeah, that's the best place to connect with me, to chat with me, to check out my content. We do a podcast called Love and Reload. We've done 733 episodes of that podcast. We have a Get Talent podcast as well that we've done about 50 something episodes of, that are just about talent recruitment as well. If you're a candidate or a hiring manager, that's really helpful. So yeah, love to connect on LinkedIn.
Well, Ben, I really appreciate you being on the show today. We wish you and your business the best moving forward.
Thank you so much, Sophia.
Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnpfrisco.com. That's gnpfrisco.com or call 469-221-9345.